Hi everyone, welcome to Viewers Drive and Fail 44. Watch the black car in front, it's not the best lane change. The driver of that Vauxhall did a good job to stop in time, but they were approaching a little quick. This video has been kindly sponsored by Car Vertical, and a little later I'll explain just how Car Vertical spotted an old vehicle of mine had been written off. This road is a 40 limit, but the driver of the white Golf up at the lights gets a little triggered while my viewer times the light sequences perfectly. And the reaction is something we see quite commonly, but the bottle throwing isn't. They also get quite close to oncoming traffic, I'm suspecting, watching for a reaction. Why do you think the van coming in the other direction cuts the corner so much? Whatever the reason, it was a dangerous one. And while we're on the subject of dangerous, we're going to be looking at the vehicle that's two in front of my viewer. I think it's a Jaguar. We're in a 30 limit, but it picks a terrible time not just to overtake the two vans, but the cyclists up ahead also. Look how little can be seen ahead as the Jaguar starts to move out. And now we can make the cyclists out, but the Jaguar is still overtaking. Round that bend. What if something was coming the other way? Some Tesla footage, and the lights up ahead are on red. Although there's no sound, the Tesla footage is good because you can see from all angles. Watch this guy on the quad. Whenever you've seen one of these vehicles, do you tend to find they ride irresponsibly? I do. Anything can happen as you're passing through a junction, so it's a good idea to keep your hands on your motorcycle bars. I totally get the pressures put on delivery drivers, but this is a joke. You've got to do better than that. This lorry driver to the left has also got to do loads better than this.
Continued to prepare their case throughout the winter of 1992. Then, yet another wrench was thrown in.
One of the suspects, Gerald Brown, died during the brief period he was out of prison. This was after Walton and Lewis were hypnotized.
Buying a car is often a large financial commitment that you need to get spot on, so any information that's going to put your mind at rest has got to be good, right? Well, that's where today's video sponsor Car Vertical is going to help you out. I've had many cars over the years, as you can imagine, but the only checks I've ever made on them has been done by the garages I've been buying them from, and that's a massive risk. This ability to check the history of a potential purchase has been made even easier to use with Car Vertical's new look, new more informative and user-friendly reports, and a new app that can be found on Google Play or the App Store. There's also new content to guide users through the entire vehicle ownership journey. Recently I tested Car Vertical to see whether it would pick up the damage on a vehicle that I used to own. My car was a 118 diesel BMW that I had a few years back. It was being driven by one of my sons who was turning right at this junction. This happened before I'd hardwired any of my dash cams into the vehicle, and my son had forgot to plug in the power, so nothing was filmed. A vehicle from the opposite direction was jumping the lights and hit the front near side of my car. It was badly damaged, and in fact it was written off by the insurance company. As normal, Car Vertical's report shows all the information about what happened, and if we look at the more recent MOT fail, all the problems are with the front near side of the vehicle, which isn't a surprise. So rather than taking a risk when you're thinking about your next potential purchase, please check out my link in the description, and by using the promo code Ashley you can save yourself 10% as well as giving yourself peace of mind. I love how in this clip my viewer just holds back and lets everyone else's mistakes time to rectify. And there are plenty of them. Whether this lane choice by the blue Range Rover is purposeful or a mistake, it doesn't matter. Do your best to accommodate and help flow. Many people moan about the cost of insurance once you've just passed your test, but unfortunately it's fact that people who have recently passed are higher at risk. And that's generally because they start doing things that they wouldn't have done on the lessons. Cycling Twitter is gonna go crazy with me showing this clip.
Because you know, the problem is Tom knows that there's a few of us who are friends outside of work. Yeah. And,
that was a particularly dangerous red light jump also, because of the angle my viewer was approaching and the speed that the cyclist was travelling were probably matched. It was likely that they were going to be tucked behind the A-pillar. Now, so I can be judged as only 50% anti-cyclist, I'm showing the rest of the clip where they stop at this one. Up ahead we've got some temporary lights and roadworks. And this van driver in front takes it that the red light doesn't mean stop. They also decide to go from a very, very long way back. Some lovely scenery, but a terrible overtake. You can see it happening now on the left. I do think my viewer maybe should have slowed a little more though. My viewer overtakes this G4S van on the left hand side, and the driver is doing his paperwork.
I would look at their, it was a big statement, I remember, and he told me this like 5 or 6 years ago, but I've never forgot that. And when I do look at Paulo Costa...
How much of a cut of the corner was that going to be? My viewer was onto it though. Just a little less horn next time. You had this one covered. A great example of the famous Liverpool private hire drivers, and it's not this one in front that we're watching. Look at the road on the right. In this clip, my viewer slows down because there's risk with the pedestrian on the left hand side, but the driver of the school minibus decides to overtake. All to stop at a red light again. Some nice clean and crisp footage from a VFO A129 Pro. Please check out the affiliate links in the description for yours. Meanwhile, look at the driver of the white vehicle. Target fixation in this situation is a big danger. I can see how many drivers would have been making this same mistake, so when a learner driver does, it's understandable, but not if there's an instructor in that left seat. Don't forget though, it could very well have been an examiner who will only intervene if it's absolutely necessary. And to wrap up today's episode, we're going to be looking at one of the worst pieces of lorry driving I've ever seen. It's not by my viewer, you've just heard them back off. They can then accommodate this lane change back to the left by the lorry in front. But it's this lorry driver to the right hand side now who's going to cause all the problem. Have a look at the blue sign coming up on the left. That's right, we've got half a mile till the next exit. Have a guess where the lorry driver in the blue lorry wishes to go, but they still proceed with their overtake, even though my viewers created a lovely space for them. I'd also like to add that the lorry in front of my viewer would have no idea that this blue lorry driver was wishing to turn left. It's unreasonable to expect anyone to be doing that if they've continued with the overtake. And if this would have been the case, the lorry driver in front should back off and let them go. And by the way, if you haven't subscribed, please do so, hit the like button, and I'll see you next time.